Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel. Today we're doing a dissection, breakdown, rip apart, review, discussion of the song "Take This Life" from the band In Flames. Now, In Flames changed styles over the years, but effectively formed in 1990, melodic death metal. This comes off of their Come Clarity album from 2006. And at this point, they were more referred to as almost a cross between modern metal, death metal, and new metal. So they had a lot more new metal influences coming across in there. So, but if you're into like more the classic melodic death metal, I would personally recommend Colony, Clayman, or Jester's Race. That would be the ones I personally would recommend. There is an earlier album that I think is it called Lunar or one of the other ones.
Yeah.
Which is very much the classic sound, but it has the really raw production. And even they've said in their early days, in the first album of In Flames, they were trying to do so many different time signatures and trying to be off the wall that even they look back at it and go, we just tried to do too much. So if you're looking like the second, third, and fourth albums, etc., but Colony is my personal favorite, which is weird for me to say that, considering I'm not specifically a melodic death metal, but it is a phenomenal album from them. But what we've done, we've gone away, we've listened to this song, we've broken it into 1 minute sections, which we're going to play you a minute at a time, and then we're going to talk about those minutes as we go. So this is the first minute of Take This Life, In Flames, for you at home. Okay, let's get into this. So we've got this really interesting shot from the cityscape, which, do you know what, when you start to see like, I mean, the quality of this video is not great anyway, but when you actually look at where they were trying to shoot it, you had in this period of time in the early 2000s, everyone's kind of getting away from warehouse shots or on-stage performances. So on-stage performances have become passe at this point, and we hadn't got to the point where we've gone into budgets of just doing quarries or empty warehouses. So bands were like early 2000s were either going to CGI it and do it some blue or green screen backdrops, which in this case there is an element of that, and we're going to try and shoot some movie style videos, so like cityscapes and stuff, and they've gone for that in there. We've got this almost intense new metal guitar tone going on there, which is a miles away from the classic metal death metal tone. This is a new metal guitar tone to me. Relentless aggression off the beginning of it. And to be honest, I remember listening to some In Flames from their more recent album and some of the other stuff, and I don't remember them being this intense, specifically on a song straight off the bat. But it really builds up into that first chorus. But even that first chorus, and we're talking about the first minute, we're already building into this chorus. And normally you think about them a lot like metalcore and stuff like that. You have the real classic heavy vocals over the verses. You get into the chorus and it's this really clean vocal. Now it is slightly clean, but he's actually got this angst and anger in his vocals over the chorus, which I thought was great because it didn't become too clean, but it gave you a little bit of melody to it. But yeah, and we cover the chorus in minute 1 to minute 2, but we get a little snippet of the chorus at this first minute. But Andy, thoughts?
Yeah, In Flames, not a band I know, heard them, been around for a long time. They're sort of, no one introduced me to them. No one said to me, I'll check out In Flames. Never heard any sort of tracks on the the Cover Mount CD, so I don't know anything about them really. But yeah, I agree with you about the intro. I've put down this a blistering start to the song. Really, really strong. There's a rumbling bass in there as well, and I like the vocals from the kickoff. And interesting you say about the video and the look of the video. My first thoughts from that initial shot was it's going to swing down into the same building that Amy Lee was hanging out of in Evanescence's "Bring Me to Life." So whether that, there's obviously probably came out at the same sort of times. There's obviously that's the style of the times, but that was my initial thoughts on the video and the song.
Yeah, I'm getting that 1997 Godzilla film. You know, that Jamiroquai song. What was the famous single from that? It's similar CGI effects. I think we need to put this into clarity. So this is a brief return to form for the band. So it's from the album, as you said, Dave, Come Clarity, released in 2006. It's a follow-up to the absolutely fucking hated 2004 album, Soundtrack to Your Escape. And unfortunately, ever since this album, they might hold the record for the longest number of consecutive shit albums. They've literally done 6 albums after this, and the fan base fucking hate every one of them. I reviewed the 2023 one, Foregone, and I gave it a 5 out of 10. There's some good songs on there, but as an album, it's crap. It really is. It doesn't hold up. And there is one album, I think the 2016 album called Battles. I don't know anyone that likes that. Dave, I know that you prefer the later In Flames, but that 2016 album is universally detested by their fan base. So this song, though, I think I said it's a return to form. Yeah, it's just good headbanging thrust to it at the beginning. They clearly, after the disaster of their last album critically, they wanted to come back and reclaim the melodic death metal crown, and they make that clear in the first minute.
Okay, well, let's play the second minute of the song. So this is minute 1 to minute 2, which takes us into the proper chorus for you at home. Okay, so we've got the chorus. I've already mentioned before. It's got this anguish, but it's clean, but it's not clean. We've got this kind of pre-chorus feels chill, but it's actually intense. It's kind of like an oxymoron of ideas of what's going on here. It's an incredibly hooky chorus because but it's done that way because of the intensity of the verse and how fast that verse is. So when you get that bit brief respite, which if you took the chorus on its own, you go listen to it, go, well, it's not even that chiller chorus, but it is compared to the bloody verse that came before it. But it is hooky, it's dynamic. I really liked it. Andy.
Yeah, I said that I liked the vocals initially, but in this section, would you term it as a pre-chorus? He goes a bit whiny, and then the chorus itself, which, as you say, is very, very accessible and very hooky. He delivers, I think, a clean vocal performance, and I think that works really, really well. So within the first 2 minutes of songs, to me, there's sort of 3 different vocal deliveries, 2 of which I think I really like and work well. Kirk?
I wish metalcore bands would listen to this song. This is how you write a chorus in an aggressive song format. This is superb. This chorus, it really blew me away. It took me by surprise. There's so much imagination. You're right, it's a bit whiny, but I just love the angst in his voice and the clarity of it. And even the video, you can tell that they've made it in America by this stage, because it's really aimed at a teen angst type audience, isn't it? You've got these 2 restless teenagers, obviously the Swedish, aren't they? And they're photogenic and they're scoring drugs. I don't know what they're doing, thieving, running away from trouble. And it's clearly aimed at like the disenchanted, disenfranchised youth, isn't it? Which is a big thing in American rock and metal around this time. But yeah, I'll just repeat, what a chorus this is. It really took me by surprise, the technique that he was using. And yeah, metalcore bands, go back and study this.
Okay, well, let's play Effective Voice in the midsection. So this is minutes 2 to minute 3 for you at home. Take this life, I'm right Okay, so midsection section. I don't know what that means, but midsection of the song. It's got a really nice simple riff in there, but it's an awesome riff. It really kind of caught me off guard again. It almost switches direction into this kind of low groove, which again is really well thought out when you're planning your song to about where you go. It's not like one of these massive drops that like everyone wants to do these like drop midsections nowadays in the especially hardcore metalcore bands are like, yeah, we got to have the dirtiest drop in this point. You're like, you can have a bit of groove in songs. You are allowed to have some groove. It's fine. And they did it really, really well for this section. So I have to be honest, when I was getting to this point, we're only 3 minutes in and I was feeling exhausted at this point. It's so much. It's so intense that even when you get these little brief bits of respite on the song, it still feels up tempo. It still feels quite intense, even though the actual tempo itself has slowed down. I don't know. Andy, thoughts?
Yeah, this sort of minute section of the song, I've noted down that this is where you get some really good sort of city location shots, whether they're CGI created or blue screen created or whether they're genuine shots is hard to tell. But sort of at the 2.5 minute mark, I've put down I really enjoyed the sort of the vocals that are coming at this point and also the sort of riffs that are behind it. So this is a sort of really enjoyable section of the song. Whether it's sort of verse going into the chorus, I can't remember, but I just remember, particularly liking this period of the song before it goes into the last bit, which is not quite so enjoyable for me. But Kirk, over to you.
Yeah, you get your typical finger tapping solo. I remember when they first came on my radar with Clayman. No, I was at Colony. I remember at Sixth Form College as a lad who listened to what was being called the new wave of Swedish death metal at the time. But he also showed me Children of Bodom, and I preferred them to In Flames. Because with me, there's just too... Does this make sense? There's too much melody in it. I remember that putting me off. I wanted death metal to sound like Morbid Angel. So once I've matured, I can appreciate it a bit more. But yeah, Dave, I noted it. I love that switch to that drop tune groove riff. That took me by surprise. That's a real Easter egg for the listener with those deeper vocal roars as well. So I really like what I'm hearing so far at this stage of the song.
Perhaps I'm like you, Kurt. Perhaps it was too melodious. Some of these sort of bands. You mentioned Children of Bodom. I've had CDs come my way from that band. And I've never got into it because, like you, I want my death metal to be hard hitting without the melody and the clean vocals. But again, from you look back at these songs and sort of review them, you think, well, maybe I should have appreciated them more at the time, and maybe there's a chance for me to do that now. I mean, this track didn't do enough for me to do that, but there are probably bands of this ilk that I've overlooked that probably would appeal to me now. I mean, while we're talking on that sort of lines, Dream Theater that we covered recently, I never would have thought I'd get into Dream Theater, but I bought 3 albums and I fucking love it. It's so far away from the death and the doom that I usually like, but I can really appreciate the talents of bands like Dream Theater. And, maybe I'm going in a more prog direction. Who knows?
God help us all at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play the last 47 seconds of the song for you at home. Okay, I've just really noted here that we've got this pre-chorus. We go into the chorus. The track itself, though, just doesn't give you really a moment to catch a breath because of the tempo. I actually said it's almost like I wanted to say to the band, could you just slow it down by like 10 beats per minute for me, the whole song? Just give me that, because it's just like, I'm just like, if you could just slow it down by 10 beats per minute, I could just get my natural body groove in with it and I'll be fine. Saying that, I still love the track. It's still very good. But for Andy's point of view, Jester's Race is the album I personally would say that is the one you want to go and check out from In Flames. Not very much of a melodic chorus. It's just more death metal with a bit of melody in the guitar lines, but it's intense. And I think you'd love Jester's Race. But yeah, Andy, over to you.
Yeah, I mean, the last part of the song must feature the pre-chorus with the whiny vocals that I don't like, and the vocal delivery that I do like. But as I just mentioned when I was last speaking, it hasn't done enough for me to get into the band. But maybe I'll check out the one you recommended if it's more of the, sort of low end death metal that appeals to me more.
This is the chorus. It makes sense to just reiterate it towards the end. When you've got a chorus as good as this, you don't want to squander it. And they don't. Dave, it reminds me of Korn, Make Me Bad, the vocal style, which is a fantastic chorus. See, Korn around this time, the vocally, they're producing some amazing choruses, but musically, they're just doing droning fifth chords, which is really boring. Whereas within Flames, they are still playing some interesting fret passages, in that chorus rather than just letting the power chords guide the way. So I would say this is far better than I was expecting. I'm not really even a fan of In Flames. I appreciate their influence and that they're one of the big three of melodic death metal. And if this is seen as a sellout, it's a fucking good way to sell out.
Yep. Well, there you go. That is In Flames and Take This Life. If you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in another video sometime very soon. Take care.